Good morning, dear students. This is Sampat Bhadu, Assistant Professor of English, Government College, Sri Dungargarh, Bikaner. Today, we are going to take up the next poem, The Face That Launched a Thousand Ships, penned by Christopher Marlowe. Dear students, Christopher Marlowe was a great dramatist and contemporary of William Shakespeare. Basically, he was the forerunner of William Shakespeare. William Shakespeare got inspired by Marlowe. Marlowe is primarily known for his plays entitled The Tragical History of Dr. Faustus, simply known as Dr. Faustus, The Jew of Malta, Edward II, and Timberlane. The present poem, it's an extract which is derived from a long play that is Dr. Faustus. Dr. Faustus is his masterpiece. Actually, this Dr. Faustus is the magnum opus or the masterpiece of Christopher Marlowe. And in this play, Dr. Faustus is the protagonist, means the leading character. Dr. Faustus is very ambitious, proud, and lover of voluptuous beauty, voluptuous life. Means he wishes to live a luxurious life, a voluptuous life. Voluptuous life here simply means one who enjoys the physical pleasures. So Dr. Faustus, he signs a contract with Saturn that he will write off his soul to him on the condition that the Saturn will allow him to live on the earth for exactly 24 years more, and all his wishes will be carried out or fulfilled during this time. For 24 years, Dr. Faustus lives a luxurious and evil life, studies the magic to control the entire world, and forgets divinity, forgets God. During these 24 years, which are demanded by Dr. Faustus from Saturn, on the condition that he will live a luxurious and voluptuous life, he will fulfill his own all the desires of heart, and Saturn allows him. At the request of his fellow scholars, Dr. Faustus conjures up the spirit of Helen, means calls up the spirit of Helen. Helen, dear students, Helen was the most beautiful woman of the world for whom the Trojan War took place, and that went on, that lasted for 10 years. So, for that beauty of Helen, he calls the spirit of Helen the peerless dame of Greece, in all her regal splendor and glory. The beauty of Helen enthralls, mesmerizes, and enchants Dr. Faustus so much that he requests Mephistopheles. Mephistopheles is the evil spirit and next to Saturn, means subordinate to Saturn, Mephistopheles, to get for him Helen as his paramour. Paramour means beloved. In her carnal embraces, he would forget all thoughts of God's mercy and repentance for his misdeeds. Dear students, when Dr. Faustus calls Mephistopheles to present before him Helen in her all glory and beauty, so at his call, Helen is presented before him, and he had a hug with Helen. At that point of time, he forgot all about the God's mercy and about the misdeeds. Faustus is enraptured by the beauty of Helen. Means he has gone mad by the beauty of Helen. He has been captivated. He has been enraptured by the beauty of Helen. He is mesmerized. He appreciates, he lauds the beauty and is filled with a sense of wonder at seeing her face, which had launched 1,000 ships to bring back Helen. Helen was the queen of Sparta, and in the battle which ensued between the battle took place between Greece and Troy, the topless towers of Troy had been burned to ground. Dr. Faustus requests for a kiss from her because her kiss would immortalize his soul. It's a very beautiful and romantic poem. Let's have the text. Was this the face that launched 1,000 ships and burned the topless towers of Ilium? Sweet Helen, make me immortal with a kiss. Her lips suck forth my soul. See where it flies. Come, Helen, come, give me my soul again. Here will I dwell, for heaven is in these lips, and all is dross that is not Helena. This is the famous apostrophe of Faustus to Helen. Here, Faustus apostrophizes. Was this the face that launched 1,000 ships and burned the topless towers of Ilium? The beauty of the apparition of Helen, apparition means the ghost of Helen, has mesmerized him, has captivated him, has. So, this Faustus is completely engrossed and mesmerized by the beauty of Helen. He immediately surrenders himself, heart and soul, to her and becomes her ardent devotee and lover. Wondering at her beauty, Faustus marvels, surprises whether it was indeed this face that led to the famous war of Troy, involving thousands of ships from each side, leading to the burning away of the sky touching towers of Ilium. Ilium is the name of the place in Troy. He clasps her to his bosom and entreats her to let him have the immortal thrill of a kiss on her lips. Dear students, now what happens at this juncture? Now he embraces her and requests her to let him have a kiss that will definitely immortalize him. He gives away his soul to her through his kiss, and she becomes the sole mistress of his life's breath and lives in her. She has the power to enslave him forever or to set free his soul at her will. Faustus continues to dote on Helen's beauty. She is his deity, his worship, his sole object of love and adoration. In her lips he finds the bliss of heaven and aspires or desires to dwell or to live in them forever. Everything that is beautiful or lovable in the world is a part of Helen, and everything that is not her is valueless. Means all that is not Helen is valueless. All that is Helen is valuable. So, dear students, in this stanza, Dr. Faustus is completely involved and engrossed, and he has delved deeper into the soul and the lips, the beauty of Helena, because Helen was the most beautiful woman of the world. And here, Dr. Faustus is very sensuous and sensual. He has drowned himself into the voluptuous beauty of Helen, and he enjoys the kiss of the lips of Helen. Next stanza. I will be Paris, and for love of thee, instead of Troy, shall Wittenberg be sacked, and I will combat with weak Menelaus, and wear thy colours on my plumed crest. Yeah, I will wound Achilles in the heel, and then return to Helen for a kiss. Dr. Faustus says that he will, like Paris, he will become Helen's lover, even if his love for her leads to the city of Wittenberg being burnt to ashes. He will fight against Helen's weak husband, Menelaus, weak because he could not protect his wife against the advances of Paris. Dear students, Paris was the prince of Troy and he was the lover of Helen. And Menelaus was the actual husband of Helen, was the king of Sparta. And after winning a victory over him, he will wear her ensign as a token of victory on the crest of his helmet, like medieval knights. Faustus goes on to say that he will aim an arrow at the heel of Achilles and inflict a mortal wound on him. After this achievement, he would come back to Helen to get a kiss as a reward. Faustus says that for the sake of Helen, he will equal Paris's exploit in killing Achilles, and then will return back to Helen to claim a kiss from her as his reward for his brave deed. At last, Faustus says that he would come back to Helen for a kiss of adoration for his great victory and to live with her forever. by forgetting everything ever about hell and heaven and damnation redemption. Dear students, Achilles was a Greek warrior. At the time of his birth, his mother Thetis had bathed him in a river that is Styx, as a result of which his whole body had become invulnerable, means strong, except for the heel, which had remained out of the water. Since his mother had been holding him by the heel, Paris shot an arrow aimed at Achilles' heel. Achilles died of the wound thus caused by the arrow. Next stanza. Oh, thou art fairer than the evening air, clad in the beauty of a thousand stars. Brighter art thou than flaming Jupiter when he appeared to hapless Simile. O thou art fairer than the evening air, clad in the beauty of a thousand stars. Brighter art thou than flaming Jupiter when he appeared to hapless Simile. Now Dr. Faustus addresses Helen. Oh, thou means you, art means are. You are fairer, you are more beautiful than the evening air. The evening air that is clad in is covered in the beauty of a thousand stars. So, oh Helen, you are more beautiful than the evening air, which is covered in the beauty of a thousand stars. This is the famous apostrophe of Faustus to Helen, the peerless dame of Greece. Faustus is empowered of her heavenly beauty. He compares Helen's dazzling beauty with the beautiful sights of nature and the gods and goddesses who were well known for their beauty and splendor. But in comparison of Helen, they all become matchless and faded. Her splendid beauty even surpasses the loveliness of the evening of sky, which is full of numberless shining stars. She looks to be brighter in comparison with Jupiter, even in all his glorious brilliance, when he appeared on her behest before Semele. Semele was the princess of Thebes, who loved him, means who loved Jupiter. When Jupiter appeared before her in his full brightness and glory, in the result, Semele was consumed to ashes instantly. Nay, the matchless Helen is more graceful than Apollo, the sun god himself, when he was enjoying the pleasure of love in the arms of the water nymph Erythrisa. Erythrisa. Marlowe seems to have invented a myth here. He imagines that Erythrisa, a water nymph, was in love with Apollo, the god of the sun. According to the original myth, Erythrisa was the beloved of the river god Alpheus. Besides, monarch in the sky may mean the sky itself, which is mirrored in the spring Erythrisa, and thus lends it an azure color, sky color. All these lines compare the beauty of Helen with other beautiful objects of nature, but Helen surpasses all, means Helen is more beautiful than the rest of the beauties. So Foster says that the beautiful Helen will be his paramour, his beloved. These famous lines show how Faustus reached his final damnation by embracing the spirit of Helen. He forgets the thoughts of heaven. This is perhaps the most famous passage in this play. These are highly romantic lines which bring to our mind several mythological stories. The lines are highly suggestive and highly poetic. They make strong appeal to both our imagination and emotions. Next. More lovely than the monarch of the sky, in wanton Arthusa's azure arms, and none but thou shalt be my paramour. So, dear students, here Dr. Faustus compares the beauty of Helen with a few things. That is, he compares the beauty of Helen with the evening air, which is covered in the beauty of thousand stars. But finally, he decides that she is more beautiful than the evening air. Next, he compares with the flaming Jupiter when he appeared with his beloved. Again, he overrates the beauty of Helen. That Helen's beauty surpasses all these things. Then third comparison, more lovely than the monarch of the sky, in wanton Arthusa's azure arms, none but thou shalt be my paramour. And then monarch of the sky, that is Apollo. So the beauty of Apollo has been secondary to Dr. Faustus, and the beauty of Helen is paramount and primary. Means she is beautiful, more beautiful than the rest of the things. And finally, he decides that Helen will be, shall be my paramour, my beloved, my darling. That's all for today, and have a nice day. Thank you, dear students.